There was no Statue of Liberty to greet and inspire a pair of newlyweds, Achille LaGuardia and Irene Cohen LaGuardia, as they sailed into New York Harbor in 1880. The lady, who would soon become a symbol of the New World's promise, had yet to be assembled on a spit of earth called Bedloe's Island. The words that would one day adorn her pedestal, "A welcome to the poor and tired," had yet to be written. The great city that the LaGuardias would now call home was on the verge of electing an immigrant from Ireland, W.R. Grace, as mayor, even as hostile newspapers questioned whether he was a legal citizen of the United States. Achille and Irene were in the vanguard of a new kind of immigration, exiles from Southern, Central, and Eastern Europe, Italians, Jews, and others whose lives, beliefs, customs, and traditions were very different from the Irish and Germans who had crossed the Atlantic in the preceding 4 decades. To 21st century eyes, the change would seem to be little more than a variation on a theme, for, like the majority of native-born, most of the new immigrants were white. Whether they were accepted as white is another story entirely. And most were Christians of some sort or another, with the obvious exception being the Eastern European Jews in flight from the pogroms of Tsarist Russia. At the time of their arrival in the late 19th century, however, the Italians, Hungarians, Poles, and Yiddish-speaking Russian Jews were hardly thought to share very much in common with the Irish and Germans who arrived a generation earlier, never mind the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants who considered themselves true Americans. The LaGuardias would have 2 children within 3 years of settling in New York. One of them, their son, Fiorello, whose first name meant little flower in Italian, would know what it was like to be referred to as a wop, and worse, not simply by cruel children, but also by his colleagues in Congress and New York's City Hall. They looked at this rumpled, small man with a vowel-enriched name and saw somebody who was not one of them, not like them. Indeed, somebody who threatened them. Migrants like Irene and Achille LaGuardia posed new questions about what it meant to be an American. Irene was a Jew born in 1859 in the city of Trieste, then under control of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Achille was born a decade earlier to a Catholic family in Foggia, on Italy's Adriatic coast, but in matters of religious faith, he identified himself as having none. They came to America because they saw no future for themselves in the old country, where a marriage between a Jew and a Catholic, especially one who rejected the faith of his parents, was uncommon and unwelcome.